All right, you guys, welcome to your reading. Depending on the title, if it drew you in, this is your reading. So when I came across these cards, I haven't used them for a while. I always get this, I always get reminded of like mirror, mirror on the wall. So that's what I kind of went into the meditation with that in mind. But really open to whatever would come through. It didn't have to be that. But that is what came up in the meditation. So I got this message about, fishing for compliments and validation, or like needing acknowledgement outside of yourself. But then also that need within, like needing to acknowledge things from yourself. So you're shadow fishing for acknowledgement. But then also with the villain aspect, you're shadow fishing for triggers outside of yourself. So that's how you are able to kind of, if you're not sure, if you're wondering what are wounds that I'm unaware of, they tell you to look at things like what triggers you, what sets you off, what is it that in other people really gets to you, right? So that was something, about unacknowledged wounds. It could be obviously there's the whole connotation of mirror magic, which I really don't want to get into here. Fears of facing the real you. What if you like the masks better than the real you, which is usually the case, right? Which is why you will wear masks. The truth is we all wear masks, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're gonna, kind of play roles differently at work, at school, if we're involved in things in the community, with our children, with our partner. There are different roles, but where is the authentic person within? And are we interested in knowing about that? I know that's something that is my journey right now anyways, is really trying to find that authentic person, or become the most real version of myself, right? This doesn't make me a better person than the next person, because I think we're always evolving, always healing. We are becoming ourselves our whole lives, right? So I was also getting a lot of inner child. There's the whole idea that your shadow is your inner child, or are these two separate things that feed into each other? You could be feeling what did I write here? It says, could be feeling like you are able to really relate to where someone is at their young stage in life and help them, and then suddenly realize they are teaching you something about yourself. So that is actually really promising, because it's not always about you being some kind of, your mission being a healer. There is still something exchanged. It's not just about you being of service to others. There is still something that you're getting out of it, because that can be a daunting task to just always be in service to others and never maybe getting something back from it. There's always an exchange. Your inner child could be looking back at you with clear eyes, because they didn't actually blame themselves, and what am I saying here? And whatever you're trying to resolve, let's see here, this isn't the place. So you could be, what that's saying is there might be something that you're feeling is the source of your pain, or something like a trauma, you may have PTSD or something, and maybe you're thinking it all goes back to this one event, and you could be really trying to heal a certain thing, and really that isn't the source. that is an event and it is something that you're working on, but that's not the source. That could be part of the turmoil, is almost like your inner child is saying, no, like I actually was less affected, or I actually, because of my ignorance or my naivety, it didn't affect me like you think it did, because, you know, I was protected by my naivety in a way. So that conflict within you is like you're trying to label something. That's getting really deep here. So it's like your hermit journey has carved and paved certain paths within you. It's done it so many times that you're almost not seeing new areas to explore within yourself. So you're starting to almost like turn in on yourself. Wow, that's dark. So it doesn't mean that the answers can't be found within. It doesn't mean that the answers aren't within you, but there is like a need to accept that certain things, you may need to remain unknown, or at least at this time. Like allowing yourself grace and time and space, and there is no finish line. We're probably going to always be on a healing journey, even on into the next life. Because as we grow, our lens evolves. So we may even go back to certain things that, and look at things from our past and see them in a whole new light, and see that there's even more healing to be done for certain wounds. Things might become more clear later about a situation. So it's like, leave those things alone. And if you dwell so much on those things, you may never get to a point where you say, okay, I'm ready to love, or okay, I'm ready to whatever, face, you know, maybe it's like, well, I can't fly in a plane until I do all this healing. And it's like, okay, well, maybe you just need to get to a certain point and then say, okay, I'm ready to fly, even if you haven't completely healed whatever was causing that fear, and so forth. Yeah, so as you grow and heal a situation that's, you know, about something completely different, it can change your lens, how you see yourself in that mirror, and that can, you know, change that perspective to almost give you a different view of a different part of your life and help you heal that part of your life. So that is just what came through on the meditation and the downloads. So yeah, let's get started with the actual reading. This isn't sign specific, so let's just get into it and see what Spirit has for us. Holy Spirit, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Sandalphon, what are the messages that you have for us, whether it is about this download that came through or anything else that you want the viewers that came through for this particular reading. Thank you so much. Let's give it one more shuffle. I am using, these are the, let me see again, First Aid for Broken Hearts Tarot. And then I will clarify with the Disney Villains Tarot deck. And we might get, like to close it out, we might get some advice from the Work Your Light Oracle. We'll just see how it goes, go with the flow. I did, oh, we're getting thunder and lightning right as we start this. I did use Palo Santo beforehand. Let's just get a little bit of this. Ooh, just calm. There's just a lot of energy coming through. It was very vivid. I don't know why that's overwhelming. I think because it's usually because I'm using the cards to kind of help sort the details of a download. And this was very vivid. So maybe that's why. Okay, Holy Spirit, thank you so much. What are the messages? What's the center of this message? Thank you so much. And we have the Hanged Man. Life on hold, tap into new perspective. So yeah, I feel like we, you know, when I was talking about as you grow, and here's this tree, like they have been hanging there for a long time, so long that they are, you know, growing around this. So this could be, what I'm getting here is that it's like you've been doing this healing journey and so long, you've been doing the deep dive so long that things are starting to grow and change. Your perspective is changing. And so it's not a matter of stopping life, okay? Like, because you may be going back to old things and re-looking at them and changing, or not changing, but yeah, changing your perspective. It's okay to change things. That's how you grow. And your beliefs can change and evolve and expand, right? And I feel like right now that is going to be crucial. Is being open, and that's part of awakening. You're always going to probably have a certain set of like a certain foundation, and these awakenings, these maybe even tower moments, have probably slowly or not so slowly, depending, everyone's different, taken out most of that foundation. But if you grew up in a certain way, a certain, very strict religious background, there is traces of that. And so you may be kind of building on that, and then if it's too rooted in that, and that is very far away from what you've healed and what you've discovered and awakened through, you're gonna end up having more tower moments to pull that out. But it does serve a purpose. So it's going to give you something to build upon, to compare against as you go, these awakening moments. Because the Hanged Man, it is having you look at things through that lens, that religion, that belief, whatever that is, and then also turn you in a different direction, turn things upside down so you can see it from this lens, so that you can build your beliefs but still be open to start seeing things from another perspective. As you heal, that grows and changes that perspective. So then your beliefs start to evolve, completely change sometimes, or just expand off of the certain parts that you really identify with in whatever religion or beliefs you had before. All right, what else do we have? We have the Ace of Wands, the world of possibilities. You aspire to illumination and growth. And we're talking about a lot of growth. We're talking about, usually the Hanged Man is hanging from a tree and there's light coming from his head. So this illumination, she's looking up to that, they make it seem like it's a firework, but it's actually, like that, what is it, dandelion, where you blow and make a wish. So it's like your own wish, your own desire becomes this like star in the sky. It becomes what you aspire to because your beliefs are changing. That's what I'm getting. And that's how you know that, like, even your ceiling of, when it says possibilities, you know that your beliefs are truly changing when you start to wish for bigger and way different things, when what's important to you, your values start to change. What else? And we have the Six of Swords. It's weird because for some reason I'm feeling like this card is explaining this card, and now this card is explaining this card somehow. The Six of Swords, Embrace the rite of passage with peaceful resolutions. And I say that because the Six of Swords usually is, you know, someone in a boat going, you know, moving to calmer waters. But what I'm getting here with the Six of Swords, it's saying embrace the rite of passage with peaceful resolutions, is because it's showing she has her eyes closed. I feel like she's getting a download about how this transformation, about how the healing that's happened, about how when all this stuff that's going on around her, when she blocks that out and is able to really see things clearly, how freedom looks, how her wishes and values are going to change. Like she's getting that download. So that's why I feel like it's kind of explaining this rite of passage about how things are going to look when she's out, once she has freedom to really think clearly or explore her thoughts or heal what is affecting her thoughts. That's what I'm getting here. What else? And we have the Emperor. I love this Emperor here. Your authority grows when power emerges from disciplines. So yeah, I feel, yeah, I don't know why I'm just getting that every card comes out is explaining kind of the card before. So it's like once you're free from what has been confining you, these disciplines, and that's not, I feel like it can be construed or looked at from either direction, being disciplined with yourself or how you have been conditioned, if you will. Once you're free from that, it can allow you to really see your own power. That's when you become the authority in your own life. That's when you can start to see stability. I'm getting like when you have others like that see you taking a spiritual route and they have their own ideas of what that is, and they think that you're going to run off and be part of a commune, or they think that you're going to somehow hurt yourself because you really believe you're getting on a Pegasus and going to fly off of a cliff. Please don't do that. Like they think that you're gonna essentially go crazy and start hopping from star to star in your mind. And well, what's so bad about that? But the point is that you're not going to go become a child. You're just going to become in charge of your own life and exit the system that they have allowed to cage them in. And that's scary for people. It's scary if they're not where you're at to watch you do that, especially because they can see your inner child live. They can see that you're free. That's scary. What else do we have? And so like I said in the download, it's like your inner child is going to look back at you and say, you know, like, no, I don't, like my own naivety or my own ignorance actually protected me in that moment. Or no, I'm not taking blame for that. I'm not wounded by that. What you're trying to heal, you can't heal because I was not wounded by that. I did not take responsibility for that. I was not aware that that happened. Almost like a parent sitting down with a child telling them, our divorce is not your fault, and they're looking back at them saying, I never thought that it was. And there are children that do think that. I'm just saying that you're introducing an idea to them that is absolutely ridiculous to them, okay, and how they would look back at you. So that's what I'm saying that you may be doing, or what came through on the download. Is like understanding that sometimes kids understand more than you think, and other times you are expecting them to understand something that they have, that never crossed their mind, that no, they're not wounded by that because they never, you know, they're not adults. They would never have thought that. Okay. What else? We have the Four of Cups. And this has been coming out in a lot of readings that I've watched by all different readers, and it's very interesting to me because they've interpreted it so many different ways, including like how I've received that as watching, like how it's come out and where it's been placed. It's like made me see the Four of Cups in all these different lights. But anyways, it says, consider the possibilities you leave behind, lean on introspection. So I feel like that goes back to, you know, as far as your spiritual journey, and even this could be because of the swan, I'm getting like, you know, when making a choice as far as a relationship and how that changes the dynamic you have with other people in your life. Just consider that, especially with the swan, if you really feel like this person is the one, or if it's a job, or, you know, something that you really feel is your life calling or is significant in your life to where it's going to change other parts of your life. It's something about really looking inside and about what, you know, how that's going to change the other relationships or just the general energetic dynamic you have in your life, and not necessarily prepare yourself, but acknowledge that it's gonna not only take you wherever this is, you know, whatever this is in your life, but it is going to change the dynamic. So there is like this consideration or thought to that process. So I feel like the challenge here with all this going on around you is the star. So it says, keep the faith. The world is full of miracles. So I feel like the challenge, or what's helping or hindering, I feel like all of this is coming about because you are looking at you're asking to see your authentic self. And all of this is asking you, do you really want to see that? Do you really, or are you prepared for that? Do you really want to know your authentic self? And it's almost like this is telling you to consider that. Are you just saying that, or do you really want to see your authentic self? That's what I'm getting here. And the bottom with the star, because the star for me is about faith. It is about hope. It is about, the star is about recognizing how, in a way, how tiny you are to the universe. And at the same time, there's only one of you at this time in all of the universe. So it's like how special you are, but also how tiny you are. And yet you make an impact. And yet you are a part of this huge thing. So it's like the macro and the micro, and as above, so below. And I just feel like there's something about being a part of it and then being it, right? I am the star and I'm part of the greater thing, and I am the greater thing. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. Illusion obscures reality. Open your eyes to see a new pathway. Are you under an illusion? Are you living in a fantasy? Are you asking mirror, mirror on the wall? Are you asking it to tell you what you want to hear? Or are you in the frame of mind to really hear the answer? All right, we're going to kind of clarify. I'm going to get cards kind of in between to see. And it's interesting because of how I feel like each card kind of explains the last in a way. So we almost were clarifying. But I'm just going to kind of get some cards that will fill in the gaps here. How about that? Holy Spirit, let's just go deeper. How about that? Let's just go deeper. Holy Spirit, thank you so much. Let's go deeper. What else can you tell us about diving deep with this mirror, with this image of ourself? Is the mirror telling us what we want to hear, or are we really open to hear what we're asking? To know thyself. And we have the Emperor, right? And I was going for right here. So the Emperor is telling, and this could be about, I feel like this is about us wanting to be in control of our own lives. This is about recognizing where we are camouflaging, recognizing our own animal instincts, right? With that camouflage or the striping here. Recognizing how we present to the world. Are we able to independently maintain our own stability? Do we have imposter syndrome? Can we be a leader? If we're already put in a leader position, do we feel qualified for that? Are we looking for yes men in our lives? Are we looking for actually supportive people? Are we looking for equals? Are we looking for people to, like acknowledge us and validate us? Excuse me. Interesting. Do we feel free? Do we feel powerful? What else do we have? And we have the Two of Coins going right here between the Emperor and the Four of Cups. Are we able to maintain things when times get tough? Are we able to make choices that make sense? Are we able to prioritize things in our life? Are we trying to distract people from what we really are? Are we trying to distract ourselves? What else do we have? We have the World here, going right here. So in between the Six of Swords and the Ace of Wands, and it says the world of possibilities. You aspire to illumination and growth, and this is embrace the rite of passage with peaceful resolutions. Are we able to close out cycles on having learned all the lessons? Are we able to reach the portal? Do we feel the confidence of learning the lessons, of being able to like ascend to the next level? Are we going to make it through this, the boss level or whatever? Do we have the skills? Do we feel like we have what it takes? And especially, we got that boss right there. Like, do we have what it takes? Do we have the, you know, where didn't we get, yeah, that, there it is. Are we motivated? Are we inspired? Is this what we want? Like, are we at the place where we feel like we want it? What is our driving force? Like that there's just so much. And I feel like, you know, like, is the courage here? That's what I'm getting here. What else? So we do have this Seven of Cups. I feel like I want to put right there. The King of Swords going here between the Four of Cups and the Ace of Wands. You know, the Four of Cups is uninspired and like just can't stand to keep looking at the same things. Like almost doesn't want to even try because they just keep getting the same results. And here's the Ace of Wands saying, no, it's going to be different. This is something new. This is going to spark you. And we have the King of Swords here. So what's that? What is that? So the King of Swords and the Star here, like Aquarius energy. We definitely have some Aries energy here. And then we have, what is this, like Capricorn? The Fire's here. And we have some water energy, but it's a little bit like scattered water energy. So we're getting our mind clear about some things. But are we getting our emotions straight? Right? Both of these people are standing in boats on water. So I think it's almost like making the decision, the emotional decision to sit down and get emotional about something, whatever it is, which is like getting comfortable. So it has to do with faith is what I'm getting here. Faith. There's a lot of green here. So there's like heart healing is what I'm getting. Clarify the Star for me in the center. Clarify the Star. What is the Star about? The Three of Coins. This is about building. This is about creating something and acknowledgement. Getting credit for something. Like working with people. But like getting credit for something that you are talented at. One more. The Seven of Wands. So having these two like clarify the Star, I'm just getting it's like being willing to put yourself out there for something and feeling protected, like acknowledged and protected. Having faith that you are going to be acknowledged and protected. And it's like, you know, there is a lot of uncertainty. I feel like that's what it comes down to. Because, okay, if it's about, you know, being a leader or a boss in a situation, could be about your own business, owning your own business. And, you know, maybe starting a business that is, you know, something your idea. Yes, things are going to come up against you. You are being told with the Star, with the Seven of Wands and the Three of Pentacles, you will get attention. You will have certain things come up against you. But you know, you might get attention from the world here, but you will be protected is what I'm getting here. The bottom of the deck is the Eight of Swords. And that's what the mirror is always can't lie to you, is that you are your biggest enemy. As far as you are the only one that can truly take your power away. And that is by telling you that things are blocking you. It's the only thing that can put things in your mind. You are the only one that can put things in your mind or make you see things that aren't there. That's what I'm getting here. Because we have, you know, like, she has a cage there, but she's not in the cage, you know? And she has butterflies flying around her that can clearly inspire her. But she feels like she can't think unless she closes her eyes, because it's like too much. She's overwhelmed. It's chaotic to her to be sitting next to a bird that should be able to fly, but it's in a cage. It's created her prison, so she needs to be able to get away to be able to think, right? Yeah, so with the 8 of Swords on the bottom and the 7 of Cups here, she wants to go, but there's too much going on, right? So she's overwhelmed. And so it's really, you're the only one that can fool your mind into believing that there are things, or fool your mind into seeing things as barriers. That's what I'm getting here. All right, Holy Spirit, thank you so much for that message. Close out with one of these cards. What advice do you have for us? Thank you so much, Holy Spirit, and the angels that were present here for this reading. What advice do you have for us? Oh, I just feel a need to hold on to this Celestite. This may be something you want to look into that's very helpful. Oof. Okay, we have just say yes. Yeah, just say yes. Okay. The bottom of the deck, protection. And we did talk about protection. You will be protected. We have that 7 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. There are people that are going to help you, that it's almost like you'll be able to build something stronger by working with people rather than expecting yourself to do it all on your own, and you will be protected. So it says call back your power, cut the cord, soul retrieval. There is something about the inner work that you've been doing that you need to, it's more about it's more about what you're telling yourself, like the cord cutting ceremony. It's more about doing the ceremony than it actually being true with actual cords or whatever. It's just telling yourself, I need to call back my power, cut the cords. And once you tell yourself that you are whole again, your power is back to you. I do see eclipse here. This may be significant time for you. I'm also seeing pyramid energy here. That may be significant for you. Pyramid energy, you may want to work with pyramids or sacred geometry. I'm gonna get a couple cards if you want to stick around about this yes. Holy Spirit, clarify this yes card. Tell us more about the yes card. And we have the Tower. What is the Tower about? Tell us more about the Tower. And we have the Queen of Swords. There's something about, and we have the Death card at the bottom. Okay. I feel like you are being protected if there is a situation, because there is 3 people here with this 3 of Pentacles. I feel like you're being asked to say yes. You're being asked to say yes. If there is something where, a situation where you are in charge and you are quickly blowing up, whether this is some type of, this could be a YouTube channel, this could be something in social media, this could be just the selling of a product, and you are made an offer. Obviously, use your discernment and use your intuition. But if there is something where expanding to a 3-person team with whether some type of production I'm getting, I don't know why with this 3-person, this, you know, triangle happening, they're saying say yes. That's what I'm getting. With the Death card, this could be in Scorpio season. You are protected. That's what I'm getting. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please, please, please subscribe. And remember, the universe has your back, and so do I. Take care.